Your documentation, are your systems clear and up to date? And also, are they being followed? What leadership do you have within your organization? Does your service reflect good governance? They'll be looking at things like rotas, your staff files. They have to really be intact. The rotas have to show the time difference from one client to the next, travel time as well. What are your rates, for example? So they'll be looking at things like Mars sheet, for example, any incident reports, training logs, your risk assessment, care plans, especially around outcomes as well. So this is how you get yourself ready and organized. And if you don't do this at the very beginning, they will spot this and it will cause red flags for them looking at you saying that this provider isn't ready. So let's go through the 5 environments, the inspection pillars, for example. So safe, are staff DBS checked? Yes, of course they are, for example. Medication, if you're in a care home, for example, or supported living, are they stored and logged correctly? Same with when you're doing home care, for example, are you logging when whatever the care plan is, making sure that you're following the safeguarding summary, what training, what incidents are being reported, for example, and have you followed up? So effective is, do staff receive training and apply this to your organization? Are outcomes, supervisions, for example, are outcomes, for example, documented and reviewed? So one of the tips could be, before and after from service users. You could have like a case study or something like that. You have to forgive me because I'm a bit hot because it's quite warm summer here. Is your organization caring? Do clients feel that they are heard and respected as well? Do staff understand the support that you're providing, to your service users, for example, or your clients? So have like a satisfaction survey for your KPIs, key performance indicators. What evidence do you have to show that? If you are new, you can have like samples, templates, for example, that aren't filled in, for example. So the next thing is responsive. Are care plans updated? When do the needs of service users change? For example, do families and GPs, do they get informed quickly? How quickly do you inform them? What is your step-by-step procedure, for example? So make sure that you log all communication so that it's proven that you are running a service effectively. Well led. Are audits being done on a regular basis? Are you doing audits weekly, monthly, for example, and quarterly, for example, half yearly and yearly in preparation for CQC? Now, if you've got some softwares do them daily, so it all depends what type of systems that you've got in place to do this. Do you hold team meetings and act on feedback? So this needs to be explained when you're being asked certain questions from a CQC inspector, for example. And keep minutes of every team meeting that you hold, showing how important it is that you hold these meetings showing how you've improved your service delivery. So let's just go through some of the things here. Now, there's your DBS, staff members' DBSs, references, their ID, training log, their inductions. This is what will go usually in a staff file, for example. Right to work checks as well. Are all of these in one file? Tick it off. Policies. Some of the policies is safeguarding, infection control, complaints handling, whistleblowing. These are going to be things that they're going to be asking you as well. Care plans. How do you keep them up to date? Are they signed by the client, family member, for example? What evidence do you show to ensure that you are working towards these goals and that there are reviews in place? You want to ensure that this is being done 100% so that clients have these, as well as you've got the evidence to show your inspectors. So your medicines, Mars chart, completed accurately. You've got to check that as well. What are your protocols in place if things go wrong, in case there's an error, and how did you handle them? What audits do you have in place and feedback? So internal audits, are they documented? What are your complaints procedures? Are they recorded? How was they resolved? What was the steps that you took, for example? And also feedback. You want to use that to improve. So these are some of the things that is, needed in order to pass your CQC inspection and get rated. But there's also mistakes that people are doing, and that is because they haven't really studied. They've got, the wrong dates, for example, on their policies. Missing training certificates, for example, could be, another mistake, compliance mistake. And also the leadership documentation. So there's no meeting notes, no plan, inconsistent care plans. You want to make sure that you have put your own mark on it, even though you may get templates from other organizations. That's what we also do as well, but that we provide to clients. But at the end of the day, you got to look through it and also understand it as well, so that it reflects you and what it is that you offer, for example. So you want to make sure that all of this is fixed before your inspection. And what I want to say to you is that create yourself a folder, an evidence folder. Create yourself an audit checklist as well. And what I also want to say is that we've got to make sure that we are really working towards passing the CQC, because we want to be prepared. We also want to ensure that we have got everything ticked off, ready for the inspection. Now, when you submit your application, if you're brand new, if you submit your application, then this is going to reflect what is going to be asked of you when you go through your inspection with the Care Quality Commission, for example. So make sure that you understand what it is that you've submitted. You look at it, you check it, you read through it, all the policies, etc. You read through it, because your inspection will also revolve around what you submitted as well, and you'll be asked questions regarding your competency, your experience,